576-497-7.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Saturday edition of Smokey and The Chad right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. I am your host. I am El Smokey, Mike Honcho, whatever the heck you want to call me. It does not matter. Smokey, Mike Honcho. I've got more nicknames than... I can't even think of anything right now. It's been a hell of a morning.
A hell of a morning, a hell of a night, I'm sure. And yeah, this is Jack Wathney talking over here.
Anyway, well, I was about to introduce you, man. So, sitting across in the glass booth over there, he playing the Platters Matter and the Stacks of Whack and all that wonderful jazz, is the one, the only, the other part of the namesake of this here particular show. He is the Chad. Chad, good morning. How are you?
Yo, good morning, good morning. Yes, I'm sure it was a wonderful night. You guys did a great job last night, by the way. Just want to say great job on the North Alabama Scoreboard Show. Doing a clap for you. I don't have my clap ready.
Yeah, I bet
I don't have my applause ready.
You're doing that.
But no, seriously, you guys did a great job, and it was got a lot of great coaches on. I heard you guys talk to Coach Wilburn. Congratulations to the Hazel Green Trojans to be able to get the first win of the season against our beloved Grissom Tigers, who came off of a win the week before, beating the number 9 best 5A team in the state. And it was just kind of a really, really knockout, drag-out game last night, man. And give credit to Coach Wilburn in that program. It was a tale of two teams. I feel like there's some stuff behind the scenes that I know about. Happened earlier in the game. They might have been missing a player or something like that, Grissom. But there was a lot of home cooking. There's a lot of home cooking at Hazel Green.
Yeah.
When you go to a Hazel Green game, you better play clean because I've never seen 15 to 20 holding calls on one team. So it was every positive play, it seemed like it was getting thrown back. So it was and Hazel Green early made it like they seriously had a fumble. They had a couple of like 4 and outs. There was times where they gave it to Grissom, and Grissom had one where they got it all the way down to the 20, and then all of a sudden it turned from all the way down to the 20 in the red zone to 2nd and 46. So it was a little much. It was a little much last night. There were a lot of. It was a very unclean game, I should say, by Grissom, but it was very controversial, to be honest with you. I mean, there was a lot of just terrible flag calls, but I mean that's what it is. You gotta be able to go away and be able to play it away, and you got to be able to play a clean game. And they just weren't on the. Maybe they were looking forward to Huntsville, next week, since they got to play Huntsville next week. So we'll have to see.
Home cooking in Hazel Green is now like home cooking in Decatur.
Oh no, yeah. But that was the thing. Like, I'm not trying to like say that there's like this big conspiracy at Hazel Green, right? But it's like even when I played there, like we had we had some every time we went to Hazel Green, there always seemed to be some controversial calls in the game. So, I mean, it is what it is. You can't complain. I think they just outworked them. I mean, they couldn't block them on the offensive side of the ball. It was a lot of pressure on the defensive side of the ball, but there was a lot of, like I said, it was a lot of back and forth where Grissom had a lot of opportunities to score, but it just seemed like a lot of miscues. All the passing game that they had last week was just non-existent this week. It was just a tough game. And then, we had, of course, our games around the world, man. Buckhorn last night took a thumping, but that's you got to that's a good team in Helena. I know they're a newer school. It's a Birmingham school. They're going to have talent. They're going to have money. They're going to be able to, bring the rock every time. And when they come up to Huntsville, and it was just probably a learning, curve for Buckhorn. And then, of course, you've got our simulcast we had last night, which you got to meet John Abraham or Captain Cool, as we like to call him, working the table. So he texted me like 4:30. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I'm at home. I'm about to go to the game in about an hour. And he's like, "Well, can you come over here?" And he's like, "I'm gonna be the only one over here." So I felt bad for him. So I went over there and
wanted some company.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you once again to TOC, who was a great sponsor, not only in the community but with us as well. To be able to give out some like beach balls and some koozies and some nice little merch. is on top of our merch that we were giving away last night. So it was really nice to be able to have the simulcast between Madison Academy and Randolph. And congratulations to Randolph to be able to get the win. And yeah, it was a great night. Everything seemed like all the zones were working. Everything was rolling. I mean, it's always that first week we get the jitters out, and then the second week it's just going to start going.
You know, I was just like last night.
And y'all were there.
I was just like last night. Of course everything was working fine. I'm here. And I'm not a Weird Al. I'm not. So, yeah, it's going to be like, yeah, Mike, you can't take another Friday night off for the rest of time.
No, just football season.
Nah.
You just have 10 more weeks or 11 more weeks, depending on how our teams do.
I got to say, having 8 coaches on the North Alabama High School Scoreboard show last night was quite interesting. It's like working SEC Media Days. It's just an ebb and flow type thing.
Well, it's
one of those that really isn't too bad.
Yeah, and it's that, like, when I was doing it for the past few years, it was at first it was kind of like, all right, well, we need to get people on, and then I was like, well, why don't we just call the coaches, and then why don't we start doing that and getting the perspective from the coaches instead of us trying to reach out to people to call in. I know you're listening to the show. I know you're listening to the show right now, and you would call in right now at 256-576-4977 on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. But I know that at night it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's getting late. Obviously, people are going home. But we want calls at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, because we want to hear from some of these games, because some of these games didn't end. I saw there was another game that was still going on after I had left. I think Scottsboro and something was still in halftime or whatever when I was on my way home. So, I mean, it seemed like that game got delayed by a little bit, or just took forever or something. I don't know, getting into halftime. I don't know.
I think it was more notifications, I take that back. That's one thing that really kills me with these high school scores is you never know.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing. The way I know is because I know that there's a couple of guys that I can name right now that do a great job on social media to be able to promote some of these scores and promote some of the ones that are outside of our listening ship a little bit, where it's like, if I see you post it like 15 minutes ago and it says halftime, you know what I mean? And it's like 9:30, something happened, or the game's taking forever and they were just passing the entire time. You know what I mean? It just seemed unreal when I saw that it was still halftime in some of these scores. It was like last week, or it was like, who had a weather delay? So.
Well, good job putting out the phone number there. I'll reiterate it as if you want to call in and react to your high school football game last night, it's 256-576-4977 is the phone number to get in. On Twitter, I'm at Gwatney Chad. Or I'm not at Gwatney Chad. I'm at Rose Scholar. He's at Gwatney Chad. Yeah. I just need to get used to the schedule. This is going to be just a little bit of a slight adjustment. I also had a hell of a morning with having to deal with dogs. I do know that it takes me exactly 15 minutes to get from my house to the studio. So that's a good thing if I'm pushing any type of time. One team that really impressed me last night that surprisingly we all thought last week was like, you got to be kidding me, 77-9, and then Sparkman comes out and puts Huffman to the woodshed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd never said Sparkman wasn't bad. I think a lot of people last week were just like, what's the deal? Is Sparkman really, really good, or is Hazel Green pretty bad? And it wasn't either of those. I mean, it wasn't either of those. It was Sparkman's really good. Hazel's really good. I think North Alabama is just, there's a lot of good teams this year that can beat up on each other. I think when you look at it last year, how when Grissom went into the Austin game, a lot of people thought that Grissom was going to lose to Austin because Austin looked really, really good, and then ended up being able to come out on the win on that game. So it's just it's like the SEC. You know what I mean? It's like the SEC where everybody can win and everybody can beat up each other, and you might look at James Clemens of the world being like the Alabama or Georgia of the SEC or whatever, in our little area, because they're so used to, in the short little time though too, they've had such success as a school. So it's and then when you look at Sparkman and be able to, the way they've been able to make the playoffs and play consistent like all around the board, which is crazy. Grissom actually has to go to Sparkman this year, by the way, and it's a home game. It's a home game for Grissom, and they have to go to Sparkman. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you, AHSAA. You're absolutely wonderful.
Oh,
in your
my
rulings.
goodness. Anyway, we've got Brandon on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Brandon, good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, and I just wonder if we could make a movie that a lot of people would watch, call it Tiger Blood, and just have all of the Auburn boosters fight each other to the death in the Coliseum. Because that looks like where it's headed.
Oh, Brandon, we were going to get into that in the next segment, but you jumped the gun, and we might as well go into it now since you brought it. Alan Green stepping down as the Auburn Tigers athletic director. If you see people's watch list about who should possibly replace Alan Green, it's seeming like it's going to be a internal hire. Brandon Marcello is one that, granted, he's doing national. I still trust him more than a lot of people around News with the Plains, and he's got two particular guys that are in the Auburn athletic department already, and I can't – what's Rich's last name? I can't remember Rich's last name, but I'll find that here in just a second. He's supposed to be the big one that's set up to go because he is a favorite of Bruce Pearl. And that is probably going to be where Auburn's going to head, is because Bruce Pearl's running the program now.
I have a hard time believing he stepped down. I wonder if they gave him money to say he stepped down, somebody paid him off under the table, what happened. But this just doesn't make sense. As good as they have done in sports, other than football, in the last couple of years, baseball, basketball, to put your AD on the road, like you're saying, for it to be Bruce Pearl running everything, that would be the only thing that would make sense to me. They're doing too good in too many sports and don't want to be getting rid of an AD.
You know, when the Tennessee athletic director puts out on Twitter the congratulations getting out of a crazy situation,
that's much. That's much.
Something is wrong.
I heard Philip Fulmer's available. I mean, Philip Fulmer could be a great hire for that circus over there.
Well, Danny White and Alan Green are close friends as it is, and then White's father, the former athletic director at Duke, Kevin White, had some choice words as well, both being very opposite of what Auburn has decided. Well, I mean, honestly, they don't like this situation that he stepped down, but I think they know more than most others on the exact situation that is going on. And after the coup that did not happen, Jetgate Part 2, as I like to call it, we're starting to see the true after effects of that particular situation.
Yeah, because I imagine that Green was probably a guy that wanted to keep Harsin.
Oh yeah.
And when they couldn't get Harsin, they got him.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun this year. It's Harsin and himself. I mean, it's Harsin against the world. So let's see what happens. Maybe Auburn makes some miracles or something, man. I mean, it'd be pretty fun for Harsin to just rub it in their face and do really well this year. I mean, obviously as Alabama fans, we don't want Brian Harsin to do well, but
you want him to do well enough to stay.
So
Saves can actually just keep on pounding him like a drum.
Shoot, if it's like the game last year and TJ Finley's a starting quarterback and he ain't injured, I don't know, man. It might be a little difficult.
You know what's the most confusing thing with Saban while just talking about that? Gus Malzahn and Les Miles have multiple victories over Saban. How? Well, I take that back. Les is more confusing because of the way his offenses work.
I think because if you look at I'll say this, I think Malzahn did it in a short span, and they didn't have time to fire him because they basically had him right after they got rid of Gene Chizik.
He did it in 13 and in 17. He beat Saban, and that just confuses me.
And in 19,
and then you got Les Miles who did it in back-to-back years in 10 and 11. What? That 11 LSU team, Jordan Jefferson and Jarrett Lee at quarterback, they deserved it. Yeah, offense was terrible. Anyway, Brandon, continue. I'm sorry.
The reason that Auburn beat them in 17 was because Saban just refused to pull Jalen Hurts out when everybody knew that he was done. Now, that was a blessing because nobody got to see him before Georgia did, praise God. But at that point, Brian Daboll and Saban were basically about the Thunderdome over the fact that he did not want Jalen Hurts to be the quarterback anymore.
And that was like one of the greatest. I think that was probably one of the greatest seasons Jared Stidham ever had in his football career, where went all SEC and actually like you would think, oh yeah, he's gonna get drafted high, and then nah, it was totally opposite the following year because he was just absolutely awful the next year.
Well, the odds betagonline.com for Brian Harsin to be fired are -1,000.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I think he's got. I think there's a part in his contract where his buyout goes way down between between the Iron Bowl and the 31st of December. Like if he gets canned during that particular time, his buyout's like $4 million less or something like that.
And then poor old Clark Lee's -500 right behind him. I mean, Clark.
I think he's going to have some time because it's year 2 and it's Vanderbilt. I mean, come on.
I mean, that guy's got to have at least 4 years to try to do something there. That place is such a wreck that it's going to take a full 4-year recruiting cycle probably to try to get them to 5 and 7.
Well, yeah, most definitely. And
go
ahead.
What time they kick off today, don't they?
They kick off tonight at 10 p.m., if I remember the exact time correctly, but it is truly Vandy after dark. It is actual all football. Granted, we don't have all, like, 100, what?
Yeah, 9:30 on CBS Sports.
9:30. Yeah, we got some after dark action going on in the world of college football today, which is a beautiful thing. It is started.
Oh, and they moved the Braves game. The Braves game was supposed to be on ESPN tonight. I think it might still be, but it's on Fox. When I looked at the schedule, tomorrow the Braves play on ESPN because Tom was saying yesterday, all these ESPN games are Little League World Series and blah blah blah. I was like, dude, the Braves are playing tomorrow. I was like, what are you talking about? That's why ESPN has the night game. You gotta worry. Remember, we still got baseball going on. Come on now, 2 games back.
Baseball.
I'm headed over to Buford this morning. I got to go pick up some stuff, and going to be headed by the $90 million high school known as Buford High School that played Thompson the other week. And I said that Thompson does not need to use that Buford game as a barometer for the rest of their season because I think Buford probably going to finish one of the top 10 teams in the nation this year. And I'm wondering, what did Thompson do last night? How did they rebound from playing Buford in the Corky?
Oh, that is a good question there, Brandon, because Thompson being a Birmingham school and me working a North Alabama high school football scoreboard show, now Birmingham is not constituted as North Alabama, so I didn't even pay attention. I am going to look this up right here, Thompson High School. We'll see what's going on. Give me.
They're playing Lipscomb Academy today at 7.
Oh, they are?
I think that's on ESPN.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that game is on ESPN.
I did not realize. I went back. I think you had 3 of the top 15 players in the country on the field in that Thompson versus Buford game at one time. I wonder if you've ever seen that many top 10, top 15 players in the country face each other in a high school game like that at one time.
Oh,
probably not up here.
Oh, wait. There is one.
When was the last time?
There's one that I could remember that was huge. Very huge.
The Made or Die game?
No. I was actually in college at this time. And there was a particular quarterback that everybody in this state thought was going to probably be going to Alabama. Don't give me that look.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now.
But
I knew you immediately.
Yeah, and the people around Hoover were ecstatic to see.
I guess
this
yeah,
guy.
that was probably the last time. Yeah,
and so when and it was an ESPN game, very rare for ESPN to do.
I remember watching that game very well.
And that would be Hoover versus Nice, and if you
Tebow.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like one of the first like high school games I ever remember on ESPN. Like that was one of the biggest. it was so weird how much. And by the way, I miss ESPN back in the early 2000s. ESPN in the early 2000s, late 2000s had the best they had the best scroll. They had the best, they constantly had the Sports Center updater on the side. I mean, I miss that.
I just remember looking at Probst and thinking, how did they get such a real life Bud Kilmer lookalike? How did they manage to do this?
Well, I mean, if you remember correctly, too, Cornbread was the defensive coordinator over there when they busted out that MTV show about Hoover High back in the day, too. Yes.
That was some really good stuff. I never missed that episode of it. That was back in the Blockbuster days, and you'll get a big laugh out of this. My kid comes in the other day and hands me a Roku remote. His mom bought a Roku at a yard sale, and he says, "What's this blue thing right here?" And he hands me a Roku remote that has a Blockbuster on it. And I looked at it, and he said, "Dad, what's Blockbuster?" I said, "Son, Blockbuster was one of the most lit places, pick up movies, and meet women on Friday night." I said, "that you will never know about." And he plugged it up, and it actually pulled up the Blockbuster streaming app. And I went digging around, and I found the old Blockbuster card, and I was like, I wonder if this service actually still works. Because I remember they had that show, Friday Night Lights, and the Hoover show. They actually had it on Blockbuster streaming at one time.
That's funny. I think there's only one left, and I think it's a Airbnb now. Like, you can go there and you can stay the night and have like a whole Blockbuster spend the night experience.
I saw something on Blockbuster's Twitter account.
Because the last one was in Alaska, and then it went out of business, and then I think there's one left that got turned into a Airbnb or something like that.
That's funny.
No, I must been able to grab the actual cases of movies and everything like that, even when they were VHSs and everything. I miss those days. Those were great. It was awesome being able to rent video games for a week and stuff like that, or a weekend or whatever. That was a lot of fun. I didn't have to pay money for a game that I might not like and then have to keep it.
Bend, Oregon is where the last Blockbuster is currently now. And it's not an Airbnb, it's an actual Blockbuster.
Oh, okay. Because I know that there was one in Alaska that claimed that it was the last one, so maybe there's more that claim to be the last one. They just keep popping up. They're like, "We never closed. I don't know what you're talking about." But
anyway,
I know there was...
Brandon, we got to hit a commercial break. You got anything else for us, sir?
Man, I just remember going in there, the hot movies you couldn't get. You would be in there to get it. And you'd see girls, and they'd be looking for the same movie, and you'd be like, "Hey, you could come over and watch it with us." I mean, that was the way to get it done.
Brandon, appreciate the phone call, sir. 256-576-4977 is the phone number to get into the program. And like I said, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk college football and preview a little bit of the season. Get the Chad's predictions on what he thinks might the SEC be this year. Predictions on who the 4 teams in the playoff will be. Will he have Utah in his playoff? That is a sexy pick for a lot of people. But anyway, we'll be back on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. They say to never mess with the classics, but Panera did just that and more with our new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. By using pan-seared chicken, our secret garlic aioli recipe, Parmesan crisps, and pickle chips, all on a buttery brioche roll. Because if no one messed with the classics, you never have a chicken sandwich this good. New Chef's Chicken Sandwiches from Panera. Only $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit PaneraBread.com/delivery info.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hey Dad, cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
The Braves are making a push to a fifth straight division title, and Atlanta's young talent is answering the call.
2-1 pitch. There's a missile. Deep right, back towards the corner. Damage done by Matt Olson.
Tonight, Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley, and your Atlanta Braves take on Nolan Arenado and the St. Louis Cardinals, live from Busch Stadium. Braves Radio's on the air at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Overall, a beautiful Saturday across North Alabama, southern, middle Tennessee, and mostly to partly sunny sky. Temperatures are going to be a little higher compared to what we've seen over the last several days. Highs finishing in the low. Some of us could see the mid-90s, dropping into the low and mid-70s as we head into the overnight. Partly sunny sky for your Sunday. Temperatures once again climbing into the lower 90s. An isolated shower is possible both Saturday and Sunday, but odds are better than not that many of us are probably going to end up spending the weekend dry. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Catch the Tide every Saturday. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
And welcome back into Smokey and the Chad right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 256-576-4977 is the phone number to get in. I haven't even given these particulars out, and we're 25 minutes into this, or no, 32 minutes into the show. Shame on me. I'm at Twitter at, bro, I did give it away. I'm losing my flipping mind today.
It's those late nights, man.
It's
those late nights, staying up.
It's not
staying
even
up
the late nights.
I know. I mean, you had a late night last night. I'm sure you didn't leave till like 11 last night.
11:30 was the exact time that left this here radio station for the North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show. If you want to call in to give your reaction to high school football games, please do. Why am I seeing a dude as a rock on college game day? I don't know. But I see now Dublin.
I just don't understand what, like, do we just, it's like every 2 years, every year and a half, there's a new Kevin Hart rock movie, or The Rock is in a movie. Like, I get it. The Rock is he was a really good wrestler, I should say. So technically he is a really good actor, but there's only been a handful of movies that I can say that I really like The Rock in. And it's like, Yeah, he's not. I don't understand the fascination with just because he's a big guy and we can throw him in some comedies or whatever. It's just like I'll never understand that. I'll never understand the fascination with The Rock so much.
He's the hardest working man in the business because he's doing anything and everything, and also I like to call him Dwayne.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The first movie I ever saw The Rock, I guess technically in, was the Reno 911 movie.
Oh God!
Where he plays it like is just a cameo for a little bit. You know what I mean? And it was like he was still The Rock from like wrestling. Like he was still like Little Rock. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't the dude massive.
Rock.
Yeah, he wasn't Hollywood massive Rock like he is now with the bald head. Still had hair. You know what I mean? It reminded me of like I guess it was like the early 2000s Rock basically. You know what I mean? It was right when he was starting to get into acting and everything like that. So,
your two potential candidates to watch as the new Auburn AD, according to Brandon Marcello. I knew I teased that a little bit before the break. Tim Jackson and Rich McGlynn, who both are in the Auburn athletic program right now. Rich McGlynn is the one who's the favorite of one particular Bruce Pearl, and I think Bruce is going to be the one making a little bit of decisions for the athletic department because
Bruce Pearl's going to be full of Fulmer.
Butch Thompson might have a say or two since they went to the College World Series last year.
I wonder if the Rams started losing and they could pull Les Snead away from the Rams. Like he's from Eufaula. So
who knows? Anyway,
I think he went to Auburn.
We got some great sporting action on the line or on the television today as we got college football back. We're going to go see Dublin with Nebraska and Northwestern. By the way, if you want to check out a preview of Nebraska, you could go over to our sister station, the Tennessee Valley Blitz, and go over to their Twitter account at Blitz_sports. Go back to the afternoon blitz with Erin Sorensen, who covers Nebraska. She was over in Dublin. So if you want a little preview of Nebraska and Northwestern, we give you that exactly on the afternoon blitz from 2 to 4 with Honcho, Captain Cool, and the Bandyman, which did you catch the beginning of that stream yesterday?
No, I had to leave. I left a little bit early.
Oh, the camera is fantastic for the first
the camera?
5 minutes because the boys we had the issue with the remote and we couldn't be able to have them out on remote, so they had to haul from Randolph here, and they only had 10 minutes notice. Bandy comes in right at 2 o'clock when the music starts hitting. It's like, all right, because I was prepping to do the show intro on my
take
own,
over.
And
solo.
Bandy's coming in hauling like anything, and then he gets himself situated. And once he gets situated, it's like, all right, I'm going to put the camera on. I put the camera on, and I hear Captain Cool just hauling ass all the way up, and you can get it all in the camera glory. So that's why you need to watch.
That's why I take a minute before I put the camera on. All I hear is
I did take a minute. I let Bandy get himself situated, and all of a sudden Captain Cool comes in hot. That's the reason why our streams are the extra, just a little bit extra.
Extra fun. You also, it's when Tom is talking to somebody. If I clip something, he'll like yawn or drink something with ice or something, and he's like drinking on the stream while the person's talking, right? And there's a lot of times where I'll clip him like that. And there's one day he's yawning and he just comes back at me like, "Why'd you get me when I was yawning?" And I was like,
"It's fantastic."
I was like, it was a great segment. It was a great, 1 minute of whatever, the person was saying. I was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, you got to understand that you're always on camera. You know how it's always live? Always live. The mic's always hot. Remind yourself. When you're on stream and I have the camera on and I see you get up and adjust yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. We have we're the captains of the stream.
He's gonna
you and me. Like when we control the stream, we control a whole lot, and that's one thing actually. Like a lot of people go with me and go, well, why don't you do like a be right back thing like Chad does more so? I kind of like having the camera on during commercials from time to time because it gives you that little extra of what's behind the scenes of the radio show.
Oh yeah,
on.
definitely. Yeah.
And
just like a silent,
and that's one
view.
Thing you don't get with the radio. So if you're not in your car driving and listening to us right now, you could actually be watching us and seeing what is going on behind the scenes.
Well, not us. We just have a screen up.
We just have.
We just have a background up. We don't have cameras up. I don't even know where the other camera is. I think the boys have it.
No. The camera's right here.
Are both of them there?
There's one.
Oh,
the other got took.
Yeah, mine's at home.
The other got took. The one that had a particular name on the OBS is now with the person.
Once this show gets a sponsor. By the way, if you want to sponsor this show, call us up 256-576-4977 or our personal phone numbers, which we can give to you if you just call the station. But if it's a 2-hour show, we'll be on camera.
Oh, yes.
We should just be on camera anyway. It doesn't matter. We have 2 cameras. I just got to bring mine.
We should have, we should have 2 hours once we start football season next week, or fully football season next week. But now, let's get a quick commercial break because I don't want to try and have a Tom Abraham segment. Mm-hmm. So, when we get back, we're going to preview a little bit more of this college football situation. We're going to discuss Auburn and Allen Green just a little more in detail and let you guys know what all is coming up on the Zone and the Blitz coming up in the weekend. You're listening to Smokey and the Chad right here on 97.7 ESPN, the Zone.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in and trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman, hope to see you soon.
They say to never mess with the classics, but Panera did just that and more with our new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. By using pan-seared chicken, our secret garlic aioli recipe, Parmesan crisps, and pickle chips, all on a buttery brioche roll. Because if no one messed with the classics, you never have a chicken sandwich this good. New Chef's Chicken Sandwiches from Panera. Only $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit PaneraBread.com/delivery info.
The playoff-bound Rocket City Trash Pandas are back for 6 games at Toyota Field starting on August 30th versus the Biloxi Shuckers. The week's promotions include a Kids Bobblehead giveaway on Tuesday, a Reed Detmers Pint Glass giveaway on Thursday, and a military T-shirt giveaway on Sunday. Get your tickets for all the fun now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel & McDaniel, Attorneys at Law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
The Braves are making a push to a 5th straight division title, and Atlanta's young talent is answering the call.
2-1 pitch. There's a missile. Deep right. Back towards the corner. Damage done by Matt Olson.
Tonight, Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley, and your Atlanta Braves take on Nolan Arenado and the St. Louis Cardinals, live from Busch Stadium. Braves Radio's on the air at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central on the Braves Radio Network.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Overall, a beautiful Saturday across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and mostly to partly sunny sky. Temperatures are going to be a little higher compared to what we've seen over the last several days. Highs finishing in the low. Some of us could see the mid-90s, dropping into the low and mid-70s as we head into the overnight. Partly sunny sky for your Sunday. Temperatures once again climbing into the lower 90s. An isolated shower is possible both Saturday and Sunday, but odds are better than not that many of us are probably going to end up spending the weekend dry. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Touchdown, Alabama! Nolan pass inside, but he got to go to play.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Listen to Randolph Raider football all season long.
Does he cross the line? He does! Touchdown, Randolph!
Nice drive. Really well done.
On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, I guess this is fitting for Smokey and The Chad this here morning on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 256-5764-97.7 is the phone number to get in. It is week 0, whatever on the 0. It is football. That is all I can tell you. It is football. It is live tackle football. It is tackle football that is not preseason. It is not postseason. It is regular season. And on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, we've got Bama Bino on line 1. Bino, morning. How are you?
Bino.
Hey, guys. Good show.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I guess officially it's week 1 because I think what they do now, since they don't do it like when I played back in the golden ages, we had a spring jamboree in the spring. But the jamborees now are the first game of the season, so that'd be week 0. This actually counts on the schedule. They're playing actual area and regional games, whereas you can schedule a 1A versus a 7A on the jamboree. It doesn't matter who you play. It's just for like the first string, the first half, and then the junior high, the second half, or the B team, whatever they want to call it. But anyway, I thought last night, I've got a friend that's got a boy that's Logan Anderson. He was in 9th grade last year, did great. 10th grade this year. His brother played at Auburn, Peyton Anderson from Fife, and he played there a year or two. They wouldn't let Malzahn wouldn't let him switch positions, so I don't guess he did the workout right on the roids or whatever you're supposed to do at that level. But anyway, he would have been a good defensive back, but he did fine. Malzahn gave him a scholarship today. He won the third state championship in a row when they played at Auburn the year before last or so, or maybe 2 years ago. But anyway, Logan Anderson, they've got like 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th graders playing in some spots. Last year there was a lot of 8th and 9th graders play, but they had a close game first half. Ended up, you'll just see him. He looks like a senior running back or a first-year college back. He breaks 3 or 4 tackles. He can spin. He does the deep moves, stiff arms. He's got the total package. He's not fully grown yet. I don't even know if he has his driver's license. But anyway, you was commenting on Alan Green earlier, and I figured he was going there on that one. Am I not mistaken? He he was from Buffalo, right?
I don't believe he was Buffalo.
I thought he was at Buffalo at one time. I don't mean he's from there. But
I know Nate Oates was from Buffalo.
yeah. I was thinking Alan Green he was somewhere up north, I thought. But anyway, I think colleges and anybody needs to focus on the most qualified person for the job. Now that person can be pink, blue, white, any color. I don't care. If y'all have heard me talk on different shows, you know that my best friend is an African-American guy, Charles Carter. So, and we both agree, color doesn't make the best person for the job, no matter if it's a white person or a pink person. I think they worried about political correctness in hiring him, and they could have chose someone of the same race and been just as good if it was someone that would fit at an SEC school and was bought into their program. I know he raised a lot of money, but he sure didn't. He could. You got to stiff arm the booster sometimes, you know, and run your own program. And he couldn't juke or stiff arm the booster club.
Well, Bino, you are right. He is. He did come from being the AD at Buffalo. But if you look at it, he's done well with the basketball, with the baseball, with anything other than this one particular hire of Brian Harsin. And
where the money's at.
Well, here's the thing: is Tennessee had this same type of situation about 5-6 years ago. The House of Haslam was a real thing. And if you were wondering what Haslam I'm talking about Jimmy Haslam. And if you wonder who Jimmy Haslam is, he's the owner of Pilot J. You want to know what else he owns? The Cleveland Browns. How have they been doing?
How
have they been ran?
He's their Jimmy Rain Yellowwood guy.
Yeah, after Shiano Sunday, there was a lot of, let's just say, shakeup, and that's kind of the reason why it was Fulmer that got put into the athletic director position, because he would be one that say, yeah, boosters, y'all need to stay in your lane and let me do my thing.
Yeah, that's true. And like I say, I hadn't talked to Jeremy lately. He's a good friend. His family, his whole family is good friends of ours. But I hadn't talked to him on that issue. So I don't have any inside knowledge. But I do know one thing. He's won at every level he's been at. High school. I mean, look, he was Hoover's defensive guy, and 6 championships are part of them.
He was on the Two-A-Day show on MTV. We were discussing earlier.
Yeah, he was. And he also probably Florida State wouldn't have a national championship without his defense, because Auburn had a better team that year. And he, you know, Nick Saban don't hire somebody twice if they don't know what they're doing. You got to know what you're doing and be capable. And he could simplify defenses and what to do where the speed of the ball is faster for them. They can react faster if they don't have to think. Now, that doesn't mean that he could be the first 2 or 3 years the coach of the year. I'm not saying that. But if they leave him alone and let him build a program, it takes 5 or 6 years to build a program unless you have some decent recruits already in there and have some, you know, it didn't take Saban that long, but how many Sabans do we have in this country?
Yeah, but I think
don't know but one.
I think when you look at how Alabama did it, they went out and got the guy that they wanted and the guy that they trusted and the guy that they knew that could take over the program. When you look at some of these booster clubs, like I should say, like Auburn and Texas, especially Texas. Texas is one of the worst ones to talk about. I mean, they're a bunch of clowns. They think they're bigger than the university, even though they spend millions of dollars. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, but you should see what you're doing by investing, not trying to weasel your way into some kind of deal to try to get the coach you think is going to be really good. So when Quentin Ewers looks like an idiot in front of y'all and you're spending $11 million on a terrible denim quarterback, denim QB, because he's got the denim. Did you see that?
I did not.
Oh
see
my
that.
God! Look it up on social media. He's like a denim cowboy now, man. He's got like some denim deal. He looked like a Canadian cowboy out there, man. I mean, it was. I was like, dude, you're paying $11 million, man. It was like, what are you doing, or whatever much money they're paying this kid to, suck.
Bino, appreciate the phone call, man. But we got
to tell you what Texas' problem is. Just real quick. If you'll remember 2 or 3 years ago when LSU came first part of the season, they turned the heat on in the dressing room, and it was like still summer, and character issues like that. Austin is too liberalized. It's just a liberal bastion. Now the state of Texas isn't, but they've got a problem about staff and university leaders in Texas. It's not nothing to do with the football. That's a staff decision when you turn the heat on in the locker room for an opposing team. That's just character. They've just got too many liberal yahoos at the university. Woke is what it is. But I love the state of Texas, and I hope Sarkeesian does good.
All right, Bino. Well, appreciate
Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
256-576-4977 is the phone number to get in. And Shutdown Man has done that right now. Shutdown Man, good morning, sir.
We're
How are
doing
you?
something to get this guy calling on a Saturday to us.
Yeah, it's this Alan Green resignation situation just really shocking to me right here at the beginning of the season. I don't know if it has anything to do with Saban's new contract extension or going on, but it's
This is just basically his contract's up in December, and from what I'm reading on tea leaves is the boosters were like, yeah, you're canning Harsin in December or else we're not extending you. And yeah, Green was like, nope, I'm out. that is what I'm reading through the tea leaves right now.
So to me, all the hopes that Auburn had of having a decent season maybe just went out the window. Number 59 in recruiting right now. It's just an unbelievable situation to me to do this right now. So how many games do you think he makes it into the season now before the decision is made for him to exit,
the one thing is that there's a particular part of the contract that has a time frame from the Iron Bowl to it's either mid-December or late December where his buyout gets reduced if he is let go, and I expect that to be the time.
I think it's like 15 million or something like that. 15 something.
It goes from 18 down to 15.
Yeah, it's like 15 to 15 and some change.
Yeah, that's where the buyout reduction comes. So that's where I'm expecting, or that's when I'm expecting, if we all have, or if Auburn has the season that we're all expecting them to, which is like 6-6, 5-7, 7-5, something in there. That will be the time where Harsin would be let go.
So are they bringing Kevin Green in, or?
Well, hey, I mean, Kevin Green, the richest man not to do anything, came in for 3 months in Knoxville and cashed out $900K. That's not a bad. If I had that type of swag and that type of reputation, I'd go in for 3 months and work for $900K, wouldn't you, Jed?
Without a doubt, man. I to be honest with you, I'm starting to think about being a Live Tour golfer. I don't know, man. Give me some money and I might do it. You know what I mean? Give me a little bit more money and I might do it.
So really, who do you think they're going to go for? Who's the Auburn guy that can come into this situation, knowing what's going on down there, knowing what can happen with boosters or booster, and what kind of guy are they looking for? Who do you think?
Well, one person I really trust, and like I said at the beginning of the show, Brandon Marcello, even though he's gone national with his coverage and everything that he does, he's still got a good eye with Auburn. And his two people that he's looking at for potential candidates is Tim Jackson and Rich McGlynn, who are both in the athletic department right now at Auburn. But Rich McGlynn is one that is highly favorable with Bruce Pearl, one of Bruce Pearl's favorites. And that is, I really think that Bruce better be one, like he better come in and be like, yep, I'm picking this guy, because if not, I'm out. And that's when it's going to be like, oh, hell.
I mean, shoot. I mean, look at Mark Ingram over at UAB. I mean, he was able to get Protective Stadium. You know, maybe he's able to get some stuff going on at Auburn too.
That's another one. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, and the coach, new coach.
That all depends.
Yeah, and the new coach too.
Yeah. But that just all depends on, like, coach wise. It's going to depend on season, on what we're going to have going in Auburn. But shut that, man. Appreciate the phone call. As the music is hit, that means our time is over. Another quick hour of Smokey and the Chad. And
it's a lot quicker when people call in, man.
Well,
you know.
Also, we got football, and
yeah.
we're talking football. We got Nebraska and Northwestern from Dublin.
I got Northwestern.
I'm taking Nebraska.
Northwestern by 8.
Nebraska in the points I'm taking.
I don't know enough about either team, so I just know Scott Frost is probably going to choke.
Well, hey, you should listen to the Afternoon Blitz from 2 to 4, where we could get you those types of previews right there. But for Chad, I have Smokey. This right here is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Have a good weekend, everybody.